America, we're talking about the G20 summit. A little bit of background. So the G20 means the largest 20 countries in the world meet. Their leaders meet. Right now, I guess you're wondering, like, who are these countries? So I will give them to you. These countries include the following: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the European Union. Those are the G20 countries. Oh, and of course, the United States of America. They meet periodically. I think it's every couple years. But this time around, and usually, you know, they're a group of muckety-muck rich world leaders, and they, you know, they talk about the issues that the issues they care about, and they try to come up with these, you know, joint communiques, which don't really mean much. And the real power in these meetings are the bilateral pull-asides that happen because you have all these leaders in the same place. Now, with that being said, Donald Trump and this G20 group, they disagree on a whole heap of stuff, right? So first, let's talk about one thing they disagree on is climate change. All but 3 countries have signed the Paris Agreement, a landmark deal that has asked every country to reduce their global gas emissions. In June, Trump pulled out of the agreement and joined Syria, Nicaragua, in the small club of countries that rejected the deal. Now, Syria is embroiled in a civil war, and Bashar al-Assad can't find a pen to sign an agreement if he wanted to. So that's why they didn't sign. And the reason why Nicaragua didn't sign was because they didn't feel as though the Paris Accords went far enough for their liking. Right? And this is what Angela Merkel said in a speech last week. She said, "We can't wait until every last person on Earth has been convinced of the scientific proof around global warming. We'll move on without them." Then you have trade. And when it comes to trade, here's who Donald Trump and the Trump administration has clashes with. First, they have clashes with Canada and Mexico. Donald Trump said himself, "NAFTA is a very bad deal for our companies and for our workers, and we're going to make very big changes, or we are going to get rid of NAFTA all at once." Now, I actually agree with the president on this point. I think NAFTA, well, not the entire agreement, not the entire NAFTA agreement. I think our agreement with Mexico has been problematic for American workers. I think for Canada, I think that both countries seem to be thriving thanks to NAFTA. But I think the fact in Mexico, because they have lower wages, and this is not, and let me be very clear, this is not like a Democrat or Republican thing. This is the fact that rich millionaires and billionaires who own these major corporations want to save money. So they take their companies across the border to save money, right? And the reason why they're allowed to do it is because they pay off politicians to pass laws that make it easier for them to exploit workers and or move their countries to borders where it's cheaper labor. Other people who have trade disagreements with the United States. Trump administration wants to slap tariffs on steel shipments from other countries, including Brazil, Canada, the European Union, China, Germany, Japan, and Mexico. Then you have TPP. And Donald Trump says that it's a disaster done and pushed by special interests who want to rape our country. And he disagrees with Austria, Canada, Japan, and Mexico on that one. So there's other issues. NATO. Trump has repeatedly called NATO an obsolete organization and has railed against its members and their alliance. He didn't even reaffirm the belief in Article 5, one for all for one. Now, while I agree with Donald Trump that everybody in NATO should pay their fair share, Donald Trump, you already know the rules. You handle bedroom issues in the bedroom, not in public. And then, of course, you have immigration, where Donald Trump disagrees with the majority of the world. But when it comes to the G20 countries, he disagrees with Canada, France, Germany, Indonesia, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. And we can go on and on. This list is long of issues where him and his G20 counterparts are at odds, which could make his first G20 summit a United States faux pas, or it could be a United States political statement. Could this be the end? Or could this be the beginning of the end, of the demise of the United States' global influence across the world? We'll have to wait to find out. But either way, it is very clear from when, if you watch the we talked about Angela Merkel and the Chinese government working together, that the other world leaders are saying, this guy's not our friend, we think he's our foe, and we're going to do everything in our power to avoid him like the plague. This is bad news bears, y'all. This is bad news bears. I'm just saying.